What is up, everybody? Fight Scene podcast is finally back. The boys have been on a long break, enjoying the holidays and whatnot. Boy, how you doing? It's good to have you back.
Dude, I'm so stoked to be back. We took a little time just to lock in and decide the future of fighting. A lot of planning went into this, you guys. We love the fans. We love the fans putting you guys first. But
Yeah, I mean, you guys have got to appreciate, the boys are just scattered all over the world these days. So we're still finding the time to grind and hustle and just bring quality content back to the Fight Scene platform. I'm excited. It's going to be a great year, 2026. And we are kicking it off with back-to-back numbered cards on the Paramount deal. 324, 325. How are you feeling? Are you hyped?
dude, I'm flipping hyped, bro. I actually can't wait. It's a couple banger fights also. They didn't really disappoint. So I'm super keen for back-to-back weekends of pure UFC carnage.
Well, listen, I mean,
Come
when
on.
you signing a $7 billion contract, you've got to
Mm,
start with a bang. You really do.
definitely, dude.
And Dana's
And
cooked.
they wanted Topuria though, hey? Like we're all saying like
They
Topuria, or they
mm,
want to introduce that Paramount deal with Topuria, but obviously should happen. But yeah, what could have
shit
been.
happens. Taporia's got some personal things he's got to deal with.
Yeah.
I don't know. Personally, I don't know if we'll see him in 2026 at all. I feel like this is going to be potentially a long thing going on because
You think so, hey?
it's divorce, it's custody battles, it's allegations. I feel like there's
Mm,
going to be a lot going on here. So who
well,
knows?
listen,
Maybe
an interim fight, an interim title fight means that this guy's not coming back for a minute. You know what I mean? He's taking some time. So I think you're dead right, bro. Do you think we could see a vacate? Is the question.
so. Well, here's a question for you because I had a thought. Why don't they upgrade it to the undisputed championship fight between Paddy and Justin and make Ilya vacate it? I don't know. That kind of makes a bit of sense to me, but I guess we don't know what Ilya's timeline is going to look like when he's going to return and stuff. What do you reckon?
I think the big thing there is you said it, their timeline. It really depends on how long he's out for, right? I mean, like, would you really think that if he were to fight in like the next 2 months, that he should just vacate now?
Yeah, no, I
Like,
guess if he's going to come back in something like 2 months or
yeah.
whatever, then no.
But you are right. On the other hand, of like, if it's too long, then definitely, bro. Hey, I mean, this could be for the lightweight undisputed belt, right? We
You know
don't
what the
know.
thing
We don't know
is
what the
I
situation
just
is.
I just don't want to see another situation like with Tom Aspinall where we get an interim champ and then he gets
Mm,
upgraded to undisputed. Whether Paddy or Gaethje wins the fight, I don't want to see him win the interim belt and then just get upgraded to undisputed without fighting for it.
yeah,
So I just hope a situation like that doesn't happen. But
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, we might as well just dive straight into it.
Anyways,
Gaethje
let's do
versus
it.
Paddy. Gaethje versus Paddy to headline
Wow.
UFC 324, our first main event of the year. What are you thinking with this one?
Yeah, dude, I think it's gonna be a good fight. I do back my boy Gaethje though. I do think Paddy is a bit of a fraud. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, I started that off pretty positive, but like I actually completely take it back, dude. Like I don't rate Paddy at all. This guy's beat washed fighters, dude. He's beat all the old toppies, bro. Now he's gonna face an actual well-known killer in Gaethje, bro. And I don't know. I'm just backing my boy. I think he's definitely gonna pull through. What do you think?
I've got to agree with you there, man. Like you look at Paddy's last opponents, and people thought with Michael Chandler, like, oh, here's an explosive fighter, and his
Mm.
Paddy holding his chin high, he's finally going to get exposed. But the reality is, Michael Chandler is a bum. He's old.
Yeah,
Like
exactly, dude.
he's nowhere near what he used to be. Whereas this
Yeah,
Gaethje is not in his prime, yes, but he still put up 5 rounds
sure.
of quality against Max Holloway, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
his last fight
definitely.
there.
Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah, yeah,
sure.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm
But
almost
anyways, like
40%.
he's still at a top level in his game, and he has said if he loses this fight, he's going to retire. So he's going to have a lot on the line here. He's going to want to win his final shot at the belt, and I've got to back him. Like,
100%.
and also, I'm just not a fan of Paddy. Like you say,
Yeah,
just he's a bit of a doers, and also that whole situation
yeah,
with Dan
definitely.
Hooker has also pissed me off a bit.
Yeah, definitely. I think Paddy's just got too much hype on his name. You know what I mean? And like, I don't even know why, to be completely honest with you. Like, what is so like special about Paddy? Besides that, maybe he's a scouser. You know what I mean? They don't get knocked out or whatever, bro. Like yeah, he's got a decent grappling, decent jiu-jitsu, bro. But like, I just think he's gonna get fucked up by Gaethje, bro. I think if Paddy tries to chill with him on the feet, he's just gonna get annihilated, bro. I
So
mean, you said Michael Chandler, right? That was his
that was
most recent
Paddy's
fight.
last fight, yeah.
Dude, the other big name fight he has there, Tony Ferguson, right? Like, dude, come on,
And
man.
Bobby Green, and Bobby Green.
Yeah, and
And
Bobby
those
Green,
was
like,
last week.
dude, come on, dude. It's like tough, maybe Paddy could pull it off this, and then you and me look like idiots right now. But like, based off his record and like what we're looking at, he has like no real like notable wins for me. You know what I mean? Nothing like really crazy. He beat some old stars. I can't give him
He
credit. So
doesn't. His
it's hard to actually
only
call maybe.
his only notable win pretty much is Michael Chandler because
Yeah.
Bobby Green is not a notable win. And
Mm.
then his winning is Tony Ferguson, like that is like a 12 fight losing streak, Tony Ferguson, like
Yeah,
it's not like
literally.
Michael Chandler was his only semi-respectable opponent, but I still think none of them are were on the level when they fought like Gaethje is right now. I did obviously say in a video I posted earlier this week where I feel like it could be one of those things where it's going to be a bit of a letdown sort of fight, and Paddy's going to potentially grapple and make it a bit of a boring one over five
Mm.
rounds to win a decision. But I think it's hard to make it a boring fight against Gaethje. I think he's going to bring the chaos to Paddy, to be honest. And I think his takedown defense is going to hold up. What do you reckon?
Dude, I think what you said was really really well put. You kind of nailed it there. I definitely agree that Paddy probably will make this a boring fight. A lot of clinching, a lot of like takedowns, holding him against the fence. But then no, like sorry, literally what you said. I think that Gaethje's a little bit too good. Um, and also, yeah, I think that maybe Paddy will also get a little bit cocky against Gaethje, and I think when you can punch like Gaethje can, it's going to lead to some trouble for him.
So here's the
So
thing.
based off everything, so yeah,
Do you think if Paddy gets this to the ground, is he in for a sub here against Gaethje, or do you think he's because obviously Gaethje's weakness in recent times has been his inability to defend the submission threat like against Khabib and Charles Oliveira. Now those are obviously two strong submission guys, wrestling guys. So if Paddy gets this thing to the ground, do you think he'll be able to find the sub quickly, or Gaethje will maybe be able to get up?
dude. I think you kind of said it yourself in that the two people you had problems with were Charles Oliveira and Khabib. Like those are, if anyone's going to give you problems on the ground, it's going to be those two.
Absolutely.
So I don't really think that Paddy has anywhere near that sort of grappling. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing that tells me that he can do what Oliveira or Khabib can do. So I don't think that he will be able to hold Gaethje down that long. You know what I mean? I think Gaethje will be able to defend his submission attempts, and if he'll be able to get up. I mean, when in the past have we really seen Gaethje struggle in that wrestling department besides those two fights of Khabib
Yeah,
and
I mean, exactly. Yeah,
Oliveira?
exactly. I mean, we haven't really seen him struggle in that department, and obviously, we
Mm.
know his body physically rejects the thought of wrestling. So I'm sure
Yeah, Eddie
he'll
Alvarez.
I'm sure he'll look to stop the takedown. I'm sure he'll be pretty successful in it. And I don't know, like it's a tough one to call because my brain's telling me it's Justin Gaethje. He's going to stop the
Mm,
takedown. He's going to land his big power punch, and he's going to finally fraud check Paddy. Not necessarily
mm,
fraud checking, but you know what I mean. Like he's finally going to be the one that's going to find Paddy's chin that he holds high. But
mm,
obviously, Paddy's going to be prepared for that. He's going to have worked in it in training camp, and I think we could be in for potentially a bit of a snoozer main event if Paddy
mm.
decides to make it a bit more grindy and clinchy, like you're saying earlier. I think it's so tough. Like it's so hard not to pick this on bias, but I think official prediction,
Mm.
I'm going to have to go with Gaethje to get the win. I don't want to necessarily say knockout, but I'm just going to say Gaethje to get the win. What do you
Sure.
reckon? And yourself?
Um, so like what's really interesting about this fight is that on paper, you'd bet your money on Gaethje, right? Like Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, you're probably taking Gaethje. But because Paddy hasn't like really fought these high caliber fighters, it's quite like hard to tell what his potential really is. Do you know what I mean? Because we've never
Mm,
really seen him tested that hard. So it's pretty like it's actually hard to say because you haven't seen him fight someone like Gaethje. So
yeah,
maybe he could just pull off what he does against Gaethje, or maybe he does just get completely decimated. Like on paper he should. So having said that, I still do think that Gaethje will win because of what we've said now. You know what I mean? It just kind of makes the most sense in my mind that Gaethje will pull through. But low key, I wouldn't be surprised. You know what I mean? I don't want to say it, but like, I'm just like we just like hated on Paddy and everything, but
dude, I know. I feel the
MMA,
same.
MMA.
It's like one of those things where I really wouldn't be surprised to see Paddy pull it off.
Mm,
Either, look, I think his path to victory will be a sub, or potentially grinding out a decision because I don't think he has the power to put someone like Gaethje away.
yeah.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I just hope it's a good fight, I guess, all in all.
Mm.
But we'll move on to the co-main event, which is a women's super fight
Oh,
in
here we go.
Amanda Nunes
Really?
against Kayla Harrison. And this is a tough one to call because you obviously got Kayla Harrison, who's new to the UFC, and she's ran through the competition she's faced. And then you've got the potential women's MMA GOAT in Amanda Nunes, who hasn't fought for a year or two now. I don't know how long she's been retired for, but she's coming back to fight Kayla Harrison. This is a tough matchup for Amanda Nunes.
Mm.
Um, it's tough to see. Let me. What are you saying? What are you saying with this one?
First and foremost, how is this fight not the main event? Like, I'm not gonna lie, like, if there was ever a fight to make in women's fighting or women's MMA, this is it, bro.
Yeah,
Amanda
I
Nunes
agree.
versus Kayla Harrison. Dude, like I've been excited to watch a couple women's fights. I've been keen to see them. But like this one, I'm really hyped to see. This is gonna be such a good fight. And as far as who I think will come out on top, dude, I literally have no idea. This is one like it's impossible for me to really call. You made a valid point of like ring rust with Amanda Nunes. Like, we've seen a lot of ex stars struggle with ring rust. You know what I mean?
Mm,
So it'll be interesting to see if she can, find a way to avoid that. But then you have like an absolute killer in Kayla Harrison. The bulls, like literally
just
the most
roided
like
to the brim.
athletic, yeah, roided, or roided looking chick of all time. And they're just gonna go head to head. And it'll obviously become like a thing of what a striker versus grappler, right? That's the kind of
That's the sort of
matchup we're
matchup. Yeah,
expecting.
I think Kayla Harrison is
I don't know,
definitely going
dude.
to be looking for that takedown, looking for her
Yeah,
her
her judo.
submission game, or her judo, and potentially some control. Because I think Amanda
Yeah,
Nunes has. I mean, obviously she got submitted by, was it Grosso? Yeah, it was Grosso, wasn't it?
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so there's always that element you got to think about, and Kayla Harrison's, I would say, is a much better grappler. Um,
Mm.
but oh no, it was Juliana Pena. Sorry, not Grosso. It was Pena, wasn't it? Who
Yeah,
submitted? Yeah,
sorry,
it
dude.
was. Yeah,
I
yeah, it
also
was.
just like,
Yeah, we both just blacked out
dude,
there.
cut that out, dude. Cut that out, dude.
No, yeah, sorry. But that's the thing. Juliana Pena submitted Amanda Nunes.
Mm.
So you look at someone like Kayla Harrison, who's huge. She's very strong in her grappling. And we've seen in her when she, won the title that she's got a submission game. So as much as I think Amanda Nunes is potentially the women's MMA GOAT, maybe behind Shevchenko, I do think Shevchenko is up there.
Really?
But besides, yeah, well, a conversation for a different day. But
Yeah, sure.
I do think that I do favor Kayla Harrison in this one to get the
Damn.
win. I think if she won't have that ring rust, and yeah, I don't know. I think Amanda Nunes is past her prime. Prime Amanda Nunes, I'd take her any day, but it isn't prime Amanda Nunes.
For sure. And listen, this is what I'm thinking, right?
Drop it on me, brother. Let's hear it.
Yeah. So Kayla Harrison, according to my notes here, hasn't necessarily been tested against the highest level strikers. She is now about to go up against the highest like level striker in women's MMA. Not maybe necessarily in terms of technique, but effectiveness.
Yeah.
This chick gonna put you out. Um, and what I'm thinking is Kayla Harrison like really needs to come into this fight like completely dialed in. You know what I mean? She cannot afford to make a mistake in front of Amanda Nunes, which maybe maybe I'm a sexist, but in terms of like women striking, sometimes they can look stiff. Bro, you know what I mean? Like they like
Mm,
guard is low, or you're like they're not like defending properly. And I think if Kayla Harrison like makes one of those mistakes where she doesn't like isn't like locked in on the striking, Amanda Nunes will just put her out. Ring rust aside, I think that
yeah,
she can just absolutely kill her like that. So if I were to choose a winner, my brain says Kayla Harrison, but my heart says Amanda Nunes. And I think I'm
I,
actually going to back my heart on this one.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a good pick. I mean, you look at Amanda Nunes; she's got that KO power in the women's division,
Mm,
and we haven't really seen, like you said, we haven't seen Kayla Harrison up against the top level of competition, and we haven't seen her
mm,
chin tested. So
mm.
if she catches a hook or a straight or overhand, whatever, and it lands flush, maybe she's on wobbly legs and Nunes can get the
Yeah.
finish. So yeah, interesting
Ronda
to see.
Rousey V2, bro.
Yeah,
Cheers.
we're going for the opposing picks there, but
Yeah.
ultimately, honestly I think this one could be a very cool fight, and
Mm.
it's really. I think it has the hype that Shevchenko against Zhang Weili has, but it will probably be more exciting, or at least I
Yeah,
hope it's
definitely.
going to be more exciting.
I actually disagree, bro. I think that okay, I'm not sure about the MMA community, but I'm so hyped to see this fight. This is like if I could make a dream woman's MMA fight, this is what I
No,
want to watch.
I reckon
You know what I
it's.
mean?
I'm
Like,
also. I'm with you there. I think it is one of the best matchups in the sort of women's
yeah,
weight classes that we could ever have. So hopefully it delivers, and then
yeah.
we can move on to another banger because we've just got banger after banger after banger, which is the Sugar Show returning against Song Yadong. Now, Robbie didn't join us here because he's a
Yeah.
shark and he got his timing wrong, but we know who he'd pick. So we've got some unbiased opinions here. I think this is a
Tell
matchup
me
that
what you think.
I think this is a matchup that definitely favors Sugar Show. Obviously, after his last couple against Marab, going against a straight out wrestler was not good for him.
Yeah.
Um, but coming up against someone like Song Yadong, it's tough because Song Yadong's so good and he's powerful and he's strong and he can mix it up. But I think the Sugar Show's got a lot to prove here, and I think he's going to go out there with steam and he's going to try put away Song Yadong, and I think he might be successful in putting him away.
So you reckon the Sugar Show is gonna pull it off against Yadong?
I do. I mean, look, he had some tough performances against Marab, but that's Marab. He's still one of the best bantamweights, on this planet, in my opinion. And I think he is a step above Song Yadong.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm leaning towards. But who knows? There's been a blueprint set out, to wrestle him. So maybe Song Yadong tries to lean on that, but he is a bit more of a striker than he is a grappler. So, I mean, what you think?
I think that this is going to be interesting. Obviously, we have a nice little striking match for us here. I think that we're going to have O'Malley, who typically likes to like stay on the outside. You want to pick him apart, use that height. Um, he likes his space so he can like blitz in, he can pull off his like fancy kicks and stuff. Whereas with
Mm,
Song Yadong, like I think it's like more in your face. You know what I mean? Like a bit more pressure. Like he's throwing these like big, heavy hooks where he's throwing these calf kicks. He ain't messing around.
yeah,
So I think it's gonna be like an interesting striking fight like that. Um, and you know what? Like honestly, I kind of want to back the Sugar Show. You know what I mean? Like I respect his grind. You know what I mean? I think I respect him, and I think that he could possibly keep Song Yadong like just on the outside the whole time and pull through with a Dubsky.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a cool matchup. Striker versus striker. I think it should be set up to be a fun stylistic matchup. Um, yeah, I don't know. I've just got it back. I've got it back. Sugar Show. I think
Yeah.
Song Yadong, he had his sort of test in Petr Yan, and he lost that by decision over the 5 rounds. Um, and in terms of his other level of competition, he's got a decision win over Chris Gutierrez, which is good. but
Yeah.
not that great. His last win was a decision win over Henry Cejudo, which again, now we've seen with that Talbot performance, isn't really that high level of a
Yeah.
win. He obviously lost doctor stoppage against Corey Sandhagen, so he's good. Don't get me wrong, Song Yadong, but I do think Sugar Show is still levels above him, and
Yeah.
besides from Marab, I think Sugar Show beats most in that division. You know, Petr Yan now obviously with a new career resurgence. That's an interesting matchup. I'd like to see that rematch. Sugar Show beats Song Yadong, and then rematch Petr Yan. That could be quite interesting.
Yeah, I'd really be interested to see that rematch. Especially now after that performance by Petr Yan. But obviously, sorry, that's me forgetting about Marab getting a rematch. But yeah, I think it does set up that timeline nicely though for us to have that fight. And yeah,
Yeah, I guess I also kind of forgot about the Marab rematch thing.
yeah,
He,
dude,
he
that is gonna
loses one
happen.
title fight, and we just drop him out of the picture.
Yeah, dude, literally. I mean, I'd imagine he's gonna get the immediate rematch. Like,
Yeah, no, it kind of makes the most sense. But anyways,
yeah,
then we get to move on. This is my favorite fighter, Derek Lewis. Oh, I love this guy.
the Black
He's not
Beast.
actually
You
he's not
love to
actually
see
my
it.
favorite fighter, but he just makes me so much money because I am definitely betting on Derek Lewis to win this by KO. Whether it's going to happen or not, I'm not sure. But Derek Lewis against Waldo Cortez Acosta is such a fun matchup in the heavyweight
Yeah.
division. Waldo Cortez Acosta is obviously on quite a tear at the moment. Um, he was doing well, and then he had that loss against Sergey Pavlovich, and then
Mhm.
since then he's been right back up there with the finishers again. So this is an interesting matchup. Obviously, you know, Derek Lewis comes up against contenders, and he just ruins their ruins their momentum by knocking them out.
Yeah, literally.
What do you think's gonna happen in this one?
Bruh, I'm repping the Black Beast. Almost certainly, dude. I just think like you don't even have to like think too hard about a Derek Lewis fight. Do you know what I mean? Like it's pretty like simple. Um, he's either gonna get like outstruck and like outpointed, or he's gonna knock the guy out. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of like the only two options you have with Derek Lewis. And I'm just like he got that nice knockout win recently, right?
Yeah, Talison Teixeira.
Yeah, Talison Teixeira. Dude, he's locked in. I'm backing my boy. He's just gonna absolutely clobber Waldo Cortez. Simple as that.
Dude, and the thing is he's Derek Lewis is more dangerous when he's hurt because then
Yeah,
you
I
come
know.
in to finish him and he just throws the biggest overhand and puts you to sleep.
Yeah,
Like,
shout out the Volkov fight.
yeah, literally, bro. I gotta knock
He's
this Russian motherfucker out. But literally, dude, like I think, look, Waldo Cortez Acosta is probably the more skilled fighter here. He'll be faster, and I think he's going to be careful because obviously everyone knows Derek Lewis got that one punch KO power. So I do think Waldo Cortez Acosta is going to be smart and he's going to keep his distance and maybe try to look for the the combos and things like that. But I mean, it's Derek Lewis. At the end of the day, he's most likely going to come in and throw some huge looping overhands. So it's so tough for official pick because I'm 100% betting on Derek Lewis. He's like a 3-1 underdog, but I'm gonna pick Waldo Cortez Acosta.
nice.
Maybe when I get to official predictions, when it's closer to the thing, I might change it. But I think Waldo Cortez Acosta is just a better fighter, and I think he probably has the tool set to outpoint fight Derek Lewis. We've seen Derek Lewis, lose over the 3 rounds and things like that. So I think I'm going to go with Waldo. You going to stay with the Black Beast?
Um, like what's funny, Besta, with like this like literal entire segment you just did, you could copy paste this on any Derek Lewis fight ever, and it would make perfect sense. It would, besides maybe the Ngannou fight, it would literally make perfect sense for any of them. Just change the name. Um, but that aside, I'm backing my boy, bro. I'm backing my boy. D. Lewis gonna pull through and he's gonna absolutely starch him, bro.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
I mean, I hope it happens, but who knows? Well, guess we'll see it.
yeah. Who really knows?
We move into. I think this is now Arnold Allen against Gene Silver. I think this could potentially be the fight of the night, fight of the card. It is a sick matchup. You've got
Yeah.
Arnold Allen, who's been out for like a year, maybe even more with an injury. He hasn't fought in a long time, and he's a top fighter. And you got Gene Silva, who was on top of the world, got knocked out by the GOAT Diego Lopez.
Yeah.
And now he's going to want to, it always happens, a fighter takes their first UFC loss or something like that, and they bounce back like with something crazy. So I really think this is a sick matchup. Talk to me what you think.
Dude, you are spitting absolute bars right now. This is a sick matchup, bro. John Silva, dude, I love watching this guy. I'm not gonna lie, okay? Say what you want about him as a character or as a person, dude. This guy puts on fire fights, dude. He is coming in and he's gonna fucking brawl, bro. He does not care. And dude, people forget, man. Okay, people forget that John Silva almost knocked out Diego Lopez. Let's not forget that John Silva had Diego Lopez in a pretty bad spot and was starting to really fuck him up. Obviously, Diego Lopez won by knockout. I'm not taking that away. But
no, but if he didn't have
it's something to consider.
He would have been sleeping,
Yeah, definitely. John Silva was on his way to knock him out until obviously he wasn't. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a banger fight. I'm very stoked to watch it. Me personally, I got John Silva by knockout. You were talking about the bounce back, everything like that. Dude, I think he's gonna put in an absolute clinic coming up.
I've got to agree.
What do you think?
I've got to agree. Like I think Arnold Allen is a really cool fighter, and I'm a cool person, and that always makes you like a fighter more. And they got a nice personality and everything like that. Funny dude, but the reality is he hasn't fought in a long time, and he's coming off injuries. And I think Dan Hooker was his last fight, but I don't know if it was 100%. But certainly in that fight, he got hurt badly, and he did manage to sort of pull it back and finish Dan Hooker. But I think in this one, I think he's going to get hurt by Gene Silva, and I think he's going to get finished. Who knows? It could be a 3-round war, and I would love to see that. But yeah, I really, when a fighter loses, they just come back a different animal. And I think I think Silva is going to have a lot to prove here, and he's going to show that he lost to one of the best in the featherweight division, and I think he is going to get the dub here against Arnold Allen.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I let you have nothing else to add. You put it perfectly.
Well, I mean, that just about wraps up UFC 324, but I have one extra question that I want to drop on you here, and this is about our man Dricus du Plessis. Now,
dude, I'm all ears.
Of course, we're waiting for some fight news and things like that. So I want to ask you, who is your matchup that you think Dricus should be taking for his next fight in the middleweight division?
Dude, Brendan Allen. I think that it's pretty set in stone. No? I mean, Dricus allegedly accepted the proposal, if I'm not mistaken. Then I see like some Twitter or some Instagram stuff like that. I think it just makes the most sense in that division. I mean, Imavov is out until he fights Hamza, so that's done. I mean, where's Strickland ranked now? Probably 4th.
I don't even know, but I think he's got.
But he's in the rankings. But like we've seen that twice now, so not so interested. Adesanya, not so interested in seeing that. We just saw it. We saw our boy decimate him. So I think that Brendan Allen got that big win the other day. I think was it over Reina Derrida, right?
Yeah. He gassed him proper in that one. And I agree, dude. Like I also, that was the matchup I had in mind. And it makes the most sense to me as well because they got beef. Like, I don't know how much you've seen, but like quite a little while ago, they've been beefing like big time. I can't even remember what it was even about, but they have some beef.
I vaguely remember.
And I think that would be a nice matchup between those two. And I think it would be a nice bounce back win for Dricus if he can go out there and not just beat, but finish Brendan Allen after Brendan Allen put on such a good performance against RDR. I think it would be great for Dricus, but also, I just think it would be a fun fight to see.
Yeah, dude, I don't really see there being anyone else like Brendan Allen. Do you know what I mean? I just think that there's no one that really like. I mean, maybe Kai Barali. But actually, doesn't he?
Well, he just lost Imavov.
Yeah, but does he not have a fight already lined up?
I don't know. He could do. To be honest, it's so funny. The last few weeks since there's been no UFC, I've literally just kind of like kind of like not it. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
he's fighting Renier Dorito.
Oh yes. That's what I was saying. Like, he maybe had a shot, but doesn't obviously can't happen now. So, like, dude, has to be Brendan
It
Allen.
has to be Brendan
Like,
Allen.
yeah,
I think it's
clear and obvious.
yeah, it's a fun matchup, and I reckon Dricus gets the win over him. I think
Yeah,
I think Dricus is. I think he's still, besides for Hamzat, he's the best middleweight in the division, and
yeah, 100% agree.
I even
And that's
think
unbiased. That's unbiased, bro.
yeah,
Like,
no,
not even like obviously we're South Africans, that's our guy, but dude, no
no,
bias. So,
unbiased opinion. Like, really, I don't think he loses to anyone but Hamzat in that division, and I think he needs that fight with Brendan Allen to prove that, to go out there and
yeah.
finish him and say, yeah, how's it looks? I'm still that guy.
Do you think that Dricus gets title shot after Brendan Allen?
Probably because if Hamzat fights Imavov, and now Borralho and RDR are fighting, they both, if they beat whoever wins that one, I think they've still got another fight before they get to the title. Because if Dricus goes and beats Brendan Allen, who else is in line for a title shot? I don't think that RDR or Borralho would be ahead of Dricus to fight for the title, if they won and Dricus won as well.
You know what I actually think is going to happen here? You overestimate our middleweight champion right now. I don't think that Hamza's going to fight a lot. So I
No,
think
he's gonna
what's
fight
going to
once
happen,
this
yeah.
year.
So he's going to fight Imavov, and then he's going to be out for so long after that. I think that if Dricus beats Brendan Allen, he'll probably end up in a fight with maybe Reina Dorito or Kai Borralho
Title eliminator
for
fight.
for a title eliminator. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
I mean,
Hamza's just not going to fight
that
at
is
all.
reality. I mean, Hamzat already said he's not going to fight till after Ramadan. So
Yeah.
that takes him to roundabout, because then after Ramadan, he still has to get into camp. So he's only going to
Mm,
fight probably towards the middle of the year. And then he'll
yeah.
have his fight, do 50, do 25 minutes of crotch sniffing, take no
Yeah.
damage, and then decide to take the rest of the year off. That is just
Yeah.
who he is. He is just one of the most inactive oaks on the roster. He's right up there
Yeah.
with Arman and Movsar Evloev.
Yeah.
So I think you make a good point there. Dricus is probably going to have to fight Brendan Allen if he gets the win. Probably fight
Yeah.
Borralho or RDR for a title eliminator because Hamzat is just going to be
He's just going to sit there.
nowhere to be found,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Which sucks, but it's just the reality of the division. Let's not be unrealistic here and say like, "Oh no, everyone's going to be fighting Hamza." Like, it's just not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen,
And it sucks,
unfortunately.
but yeah, is what it is.
But we are heading into a sick year, and I think the fact that it's a new host company, Paramount, a
Mm,
huge $7 billion deal, we are going to be in for some treats this year. I think
definitely.
back-to-back numbered cards, and they just keep announcing more and more fights as the year goes on. This is going to be special. The back end of last year was insane. So
Yeah.
hopefully this year can just be as good. We can only
I
hope
think
for the
it'll be a
best.
good year. Yeah, I think it'll be a good year. I mean, there's some big stuff happening this year. The Paramount deal
White
obviously went
House
through.
card.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, the
Yeah.
White House, like, well, I don't know that I always see stuff about like saying, okay, it's happening, but then I see, maybe it's not gonna happen. I decided now I'm just gonna wait and see whatever
I was
ends up happening.
a big disbeliever. I always thought it was going to be
Mm,
all talk, but it seems like Dana and Trump are working, really hard to get it done. I think we will see it. To be honest, I mean, look, you never know until it's announced and the fighters are in the octagon. You can't be sure, but it
yeah.
is looking good. I would say they both seem very very keen and putting in the work to make it happen. I think it would be flipping cool. So I guess we'll see where
Yeah.
it
So
goes.
I know we're going long here, but I just want to ask one last question to you, Claire. Who headlines that card? We've seen that like most of the champs aren't available, bro. They're not available. Do
It
you
has.
think that we see the one and only Conor McGregor? Do you think we see it?
I think we see him. We could see him on the card, but I don't know if we see him headline it. I
No
don't think.
ways,
I don't think you can have a
dude.
non-champion
No
fight
ways.
headline the White House card.
But dude, there's like literally no champs available.
But who does McGregor even
Um,
fight? Who does McGregor even
Dude,
fight?
Chandler, dude, it's gonna happen, bro. I promise you, it's gonna happen, bro. Actually, I'm calling it now, dude. McGregor versus Chandler will headline the White House card, bro. I'm
All
calling
right,
it now.
I'm clipping that and posting it. We're gonna
Yeah,
hold you
I'm
accountable.
calling it. I'm calling it, bro. It's gonna happen, bro. All the speculation, all the build up, bro. It's been building up to this moment. To watch.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see because yeah, like you say, the champs just aren't gonna be available. I think
Yeah,
ideally probably would have been someone like Aspinall, a heavyweight fight, but who knows if he's ever going to even return to fighting? Seems
got
really,
pretty
really
fucked. Yeah.
bad that situation. Alex Pereira, I don't know if he'll be there in time to fight.
Yeah, that's the maybe. I'm pretty sure I saw him do a White House post, so maybe that one could happen.
Pereira maybe. I mean, I think
Yeah,
ideal would have been someone like Taporia, but who knows
yeah,
what's
definitely.
the situation.
But Hamza won't do it. Islam won't do it. He just fought. Volk is about to
Yeah.
fight. Petr Yan just fought.
The thing is, as well, is will they even let Islam headline the White
Yeah.
House card? Will they let a Russian headline the White House card?
That's what I'm saying, dude. McGregor versus Chandler makes the most sense, bro. It literally makes the most sense. Because who else are you gonna put as an American guy? John Jones is a shot, but Dana White is seemingly like shut that down and been like that
Yeah,
ain't happening.
no.
So like there is no other big American. So
DC
McGregor's
versus Jones
Chandler.
3.
Okay, fine, dude. I'd rather watch McGregor Chandler, bro. I'd rather watch.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's see. Let's see. Who knows? Maybe
Yeah.
this is the seeing the future from Toy.
What are you now? Yeah. No, but yo.
But yeah, that pretty much sums it up. It was lekker to hop back on you and have a chat again, bro. I've missed
No,
chatting about
definitely.
UFC. I've certainly missed watching it.
Yeah.
I'm counting down the days until UFC 324. It can't come soon enough, to be honest. So
Yeah.
hopefully it
Yo.
delivers. And to those of you who made it to the end of the video, obviously, thank you for watching as always. And special announcement, our other part, Robbie, who couldn't be asked to make it here tonight, is in fact going to UFC 324 in the T-Mobile Arena, which is pretty fucking sick. So he'll definitely be getting the fight scene
Yeah.
credentials to post some clips. So watch out for that.
Yeah.
But
Guys, don't feel surprised when you see Robbie just like getting some fight scene footage, like in the cage and like getting some interviews done. Just know
some
it's up,
post
boy.
fight
Okay.
interviews.
Yeah.
But as always, yeah, shot for doing this, brother. Lucky to see you, lucky to chat again, and see you in the next one, eh?
Yeah, definitely, bro. Thanks for having me as always, hey. And yeah, I'll check you guys soon.